Okay. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to call to order the City Council meeting for April 16, 2024. And Madam Clerk, roll call and posting of the agenda.
Councilmember Madrigal.
Here.
Councilmember Perrello. Here. Councilmember Turan.
Here.
Councilmember Valenzuela.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald.
Here.
Mayor Zaragoza.
Here.
We have a quorum. Posting of the agenda. The agenda for this meeting was posted in the City Hall Bulletin Board on March 22nd, 2024.
Thank you. Our next item is item B. Do we have any public comments for the closed session items today?
Mayor Zaragoza, yes, we have one public speaker, Barbara Macri Ortiz.
Okay, Barbara, come on up. You got 3 minutes. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Mayor and council members. I'm here on item, I guess it's C1. It's the Konakai settlement, and it's been a long time coming. We had the hearing with the hearing officer back in May, and it looked like we were going on a long, hard appeal road, but eventually the park started talking, and I think we've come to a really the best settlement I think we could really give for the people, and nothing retroactive. Everything going forward is when they start paying. We basically combined this year's CPI with an additional, I think, 2.4%. And that's what they're going to get between August and April of next year. And so nobody pays anything for 2022, 2023, or 2024 up to basically August. So everybody was real happy. It was unanimous. My client, the main person for the homeowners, couldn't attend because he's got a friend that's in the hospital at St. John's that's he had to go see. So anyhow, I just would ask for your support on this. And basically the city's just giving everybody a release just like we're giving everybody a release. So it's just so that we can start fresh, nothing going back, and hopefully this with your acceptance, then that would stop anybody from dreaming up something. And of course they have, once the rent review goes to the rent review board, once they hopefully accept the settlement, then any homeowner would have, the right to appeal it to the court, just like, we would if we had a bad resolution at the rent review board. So it was a lot of hard work. It was a pro bono case that I did not think was going to last all that long, and I was quite wrong. But at least it's ending after a year rather than after 3 years. So I count my blessings on that. So thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I can explain, or I'm sure they'll explain in closed session as well.
Yeah, we'll be going into closed session. Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you.
So, Madam Clerk, any other speakers on this item? Closed session items?
Mayor Zaragoza, we do not have any additional speakers for closed session items. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I'm going to item C, a closed session item, and Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. The City Council will recess to a closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, Subdivision D1, to confer with its attorneys. The matters being discussed are in the matter of Konakai Mobile Estates, City of Oxnard versus Fox Canyon Groundwater Management Agency, and Moving Oxnard Forward versus Jim Troop et al. The City Council will also recess to a closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, Subdivision D4. Based on existing facts and circumstances, the Council shall decide whether to initiate litigation in one potential case.
Okay, thank you. So then we are going to close session. We'll be back at 6 PM for the ceremonial items. Well, thank you. Good evening. We're back from closed session, and at this time, I'd like to ask our city attorney if he has any announcements to share with us out of closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. Regarding item C1, by a unanimous vote, the City Council has approved entering into a settlement agreement with Konakai Mobile Home Park Associated, doing business as Konakai Estates, and those homeowners who filed a protest petition challenging the 2022 and/or 2023 rent increases. The terms of the agreement include the park owner waives the right to collect the 4% rent increase that it imposed in 2022. The parties agree to a total rent increase of 5.74% between April 1, 2022 and March 31, 2025. The parties agree to waive any claims regarding the current rents and any claims that they have against each other. The settlement becoming effective is contingent on a number of factors, including the Mobile Home Park Rent Review Board approving the material terms of the agreement on or before April 26, 2024. No successful challenge to the board's approval of the material terms of the agreement or a successful challenge in court. Copies of the settlement will be available for public review. Regarding item C3, the council, by a unanimous vote, has directed the city attorney to initiate an action. The action, the defendants, and the other particulars shall, once unsealed, be disclosed to any person upon inquiry, unless to do so would jeopardize the city's ability to effectuate service of process on one or more unserved parties, or that to do so would jeopardize its ability to conclude existing settlement negotiations to its advantage. And finally, regarding item C4, by a unanimous vote, the City Council has given legal counsel approval to refrain from seeking appellate review or relief in Moving Oxnard Forward versus Jim Troop et al., which concerns the sufficiency of city monthly reports and accounting to the council of receipts, disbursements, and fund balances pursuant to Government Code Section 41004. That concludes my reports.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Then our next item is item D, in this opening ceremonies, and
Excuse me,
go ahead, Madam.
Mayor Zaragoza, I do have an announcement. Councilmember Basua joined the meeting at 5:07 today. Also, Councilmember Madrigal stepped away at 6 p.m., will be away from the meeting for about an hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, our next item is a Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in saluting the flag, and our Mayor Pro Tem is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please place your hand over your heart and join me in saluting the flag of our nation by saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Okay, thank you. So we have our next items is the ceremonial items, and we have, to start off, we have a presentation designating April 22nd as Earth Day, and we have some folks with us today. We have Isabel Ayala, Rafael Ochoa, Melanie Medina, and Juan Serrano from the Coastal Keepers. You want to join us up at the dais? Thank you for joining us tonight. And I see we have some children with us too. Come right up. Thank you. It's really an honor for me to, this is a proclamation, Earth Day, April 22nd, 2024, where Earth Day is scheduled on April 22nd, 24, recognizing that a healthy environment is a cornerstone of a thriving community and a vigorous local economy. Where the first day was enacted in 1970 and engaged over 20 million Americans to advance a cleaner environment. Where Earth Day now has become a global event and is highlighted
in some of the most critical environmental issues, where this year's theme is called, quote, Planet versus Plastic, end of quote. Acknowledges a commitment to end plastics for the sake of human planetary health, demanding a 60% reduction in the production of plastics by 2040. And whereas we're engaging every resident in the city of Oxnard to help in conserving and protecting the environment by the way of green activities such as recycling, water, emergency conservation, energy conservation, tree planting, and active education about environment issues. Whereas the Coastal Keepers is an example of local citizens advocating for a cleaner, more beautiful community and ecosystem, including building community outreach for the environment, fundraising, collaborating, Oxnard and Port Hueneme to clean up initiatives. Now, therefore, I, John C. Zaragoza, Mayor of the City of Oxnard, proclaim April 22nd as Earth Day and encourage all residents to identify what they can personally do to protect the environment and make Oxnard a cleaner and also a greener city. Thank you so much for that, and we do have this young man is going to give us more information, including the children with us.
Thank you so much. Yes, you want to hold it, Noah? Thank you, Mayor Zaragoza, distinguished members of City Council and fellow Oxnard residents. Coastal Keepers wants to thank you for the honor of accepting the City of Oxnard's Earth Day proclamation. Just want to remind everyone that Earth Day is a vital reminder of our responsibility to protect our planet, and I'm grateful for the city's commitment to environmental stewardship. As a community, we all have a role to play in ensuring a sustainable future for Oxnard, whether it's conserving water, reducing waste, or attending a local beach cleanup. Every action counts. Let's use Earth Day 2024 as a springboard to take action, and let's explore ways to make Oxnard even more environmentally friendly. Together, we can create a cleaner, healthier city for ourselves and for future generations to come. I also want to invite everyone to our event that we're having this Saturday, where we will be teaming up with Oxnard Public Works, City Corps, and Surf Riders. We will be over down in Perkins Road, down Perkins Beach. We will be removing invasive plants, planting native seeds, and we will be also doing a beach cleanup. So thank you very much. This will be from 9 to 12. Yeah, down Perkins Road in Hueneme. Yes. Yes, we have some mini coastal keepers over here. You guys want to say your names?
Isabella. Rafael.
Yes, and you know, you're never too young to start caring about the earth, so that's why it's important to bring these kids out here.
And we have this young man here with us.
Oh, yes, this is.
Hello, this is Rafael here. It's always exciting to come up here. I think I've said this before. One time, we don't borrow this land from our ancestors, we borrow this land from our children. Thank you for your constant support, City of Oxnard, and we're really excited for what the future holds on the south of Oxnard and our beach coastal areas.
Yeah, put your hands together for the Coastal Keepers. Thank you so much. You know, one of the important things that we're doing is teaching the children. They're our future, and I think it's important that we keep this planet nice and clean with the environment. I've had the opportunity to participate in Earth Day for many, many years, and thank you again for your good work. Put your hands one more time. You want to take a photo? Okay.
The little one there so he can be seen.
He says he's heavy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So we're not done with all this, you know, good work that our people are doing. I'd like to call then Dale McPine from the Oxnard PD to accept our proclamation, and all the people that work with you, Dale, Sergeant Dale. And I see your sheriff back there. How are you, Sheriff? Nice to see you here. This, so many on this side and so many on this side. Let's balance it out. So many on this side. Oh, okay. There we go. Well, the sergeant and the chief. Thank you. So anyway, this is a proclamation, Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Awareness Month, April 2024. Whereas April is designated as Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Awareness Month, and where sexual assault and child abuse are crimes that affect all races, cultures, social demographics, and has a profound impact on families and community. And for children that grow up in violent homes are believed to be abused, neglect at a higher rate than national average, where only a coordinated community effort can put a stop to this atrocious crimes. Whereas Sexual Assault Child Abuse Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for residents to learn more about preventing sexual abuse and child abuse, and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide critical advocacy services and assistance to survivors. Whereas the City of Oxnard Police Department community-based organizations are in positions to provide education, information, services to assist the survivors, and believe that they have the right to feel safe and live free from violence at home and in the community. Whereas we recognize the survivors of abuse whose courage inspire all of us, we commit of offering a helping hand to those in need and remind them that they are not alone. Whereas we must continue to stand along the advocates, survivors, service providers, law enforcement, our criminal justice system as they hold offenders accountable and provide support to survivors during the darkest moment of their life. The City of Oxnard Police Department urges all residents to take and stand against sexual assault and child abuse by raising awareness about these issues and resources available to survivors seeking an escape from abuse. Whereas we continue our efforts to end violence in our homes and schools and communities. Now therefore, I, John Zaragoza, Mayor of the City of Oxnard, proclaim April 2024 as Sexual Assault Abuse Awareness Month. In the City of Oxnard, encourage all residents to participate in programs and outreach and efforts in educating and supporting those survivors and sexual abuse children and abuse. So, you're the...
Guess I'm it.
You're the one. And I have another one here for you.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'm Sergeant Dale McAlpine, the Oxnard Police Department's Family Protection Unit. Today I brought the team, as I call them. It involves my detectives, service providers in our community, victim advocates, members of the criminal justice system who, yes, sexual assault is a profoundly, and child abuse affects the community profoundly. And at the Oxnard Police Department, we proudly stand tall together with all the providers to help our survivors during their darkest hour. I don't want to take up too much time because we've got a busy schedule tonight, so I'm just going to pass the mic down to everybody to introduce themselves so you can see all the providers and all the team members that all come together when a victim of sexual assault and child abuse makes a disclosure.
I'm Maria Villa. I'm the program coordinator for Safe Harbor Ventura County, our designated child abuse advocacy center for Ventura County.
Hi, Rose Bañuelos with the Coalition for Family Harmony. I'm a transitional housing advocate and a sexual assault advocate also.
Detective Maria Gonzalez, and I work in the Family Protection Unit.
Brianna Figueroa, and I'm a victim advocate at the DA's office.
Patty Sanchez, victim advocate at the DA's office.
Corporal Juan Morales with the Oxnard Police Department's Family Protection Unit.
Jennifer Barbatini, I'm a supervising victim advocate with the District Attorney's Office, and I also am a facility dog handler for Comet.
Chief, you want to talk for the police officer? Right?
Woof.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. Put your hands together for all. This is really, really important. Sexual abuse happens. Sexual abuse happens even though many, many times there are people at home that you realize would do so, you know, family members and so forth. But I want to thank all of you, and the survivors and people that really help. It's really, really important for all of us to really help our children, and not only children, other people too, you know, that are abused at home. Again, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the work. And what's the name of the dog? Comet? Hi, Comet. He looked at us. Well, thank you again. And really put your hands together. Thank you so much, Sergeant. And thank you. Chief, thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you.
Wait, where's everybody going?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, hey, where you been? Where you been? I haven't seen you for a long time. Thank you, hon. Thank you, sir. Oh, we're going to take a photo. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does Comet have a badge? He does have a badge? Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you again. Thank you, mija. Nice to see you. Nos miramos otra vez. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have one more proclamation. Is Carol Mullen here? Carol and friends, come up. Sit on this side, Gary. I'm here. Welcome. Okay, Richard. That's right next to you. Well, thank him. So we have a proclamation for Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, April 2024. Whereas April is Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, a statewide celebration first established by California legislators in 2019, and where the city of Oxnard believes that arts, culture, and creativity are essential in a thriving community, and whereas arts inspires discovery, lifelong learning, and joy, and culture creates connections, encourages understanding, and strengthens the community, and where creativity sparks innovation, growth, and positive change, and where arts organizers serve the city's lead efforts to advance the arts through programs, partnerships, and community building initiatives. Whereas the collective work of local levels throughout the state encourages racial equity, uplifts our community, and changes our lives for the betterment. Now, therefore, I, John C. Zaragoza, Mayor, City of Oxnard, proclaim April 2024 as Art, Culture, and Creativity Month, and encourage everyone to join in the celebration. This is signed by the Mayor and today's date. So, Carolyn?
Thank you so much. I'm Carolyn Marina Mullen, the Executive Director of OPAC. But really, the arts are a big ecosystem in our community, so we couldn't have done this proclamation without our fellow colleagues in the arts. So I do want to give you all an opportunity to say who you are and what you do. But I'll also do a shameless plug for our next event, which is April 27th. It's Rescue Con. You can come do yoga with your doggies, adopt a cat, do a sound bath with an animal. So I love that arts and culture can help, important social issues in our community, but in a fun and creative way. So thank you to the City of Oxnard for recognizing the value and the importance of the arts and creating vibrant, healthy communities. So Cherie, you want to say hi?
Sure. Since 2011, the Oxnard Music Advocacy Group started here in the community, and with the support of the city, providing opportunities in our schools, grants through the cultural arts program. Every child in the school system had 7 music classes in their schools, and I really believe that's why a lot of the schools decided later to hire a music teacher and put in music labs. And then along comes our new city manager, and now we have, may I talk about this? The beginnings of the Oxnard Arts Academy, which he is responsible for, having seen a success in another city in Riverside, and we now, thanks to the city, provide music classes to families. It's instrumental music classes, encourage parents over in the Colonia, and our classes are being given, so thank you so much. The Oxnard Arts Academy, be watching for it. You're going to see it blossom here in the community where our kids are going to have an opportunity to have much more exposure to the performing arts.
Gary?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, honorable council members. I'm Gary Davis. I serve as chairperson for the Oxnard Performing Arts Center Corporation Board. Thank you for this proclamation, and we appreciate the opportunity to continue to serve the city, advance the arts and culture for our great community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Roxanne Trujillo. I am a founder and executive director of Open Door Studio. Open Door Studio was opened in 2021, so we're in our 4th year. And we are a working arts studio that supports adults with intellectual disabilities. We're also an art space for our community, so we have lots of art shows. And I'm going to do a shameless plug as well. April 27th, we're having an art show, all female, all creators, all female performers from 2 to 4 at 329 West 5th Street. That's our galleries, and I don't have anything else to say.
Thank you so much. Really, really put your hands together again for the arts. This is so important. One of the things I like to share, when I was going to college at university, I had a professor that says, math, English, and the arts. If you don't have the arts, you don't have full education. Gary, is that correct? Being a teacher? Again, thank you so much. Thank you again to the committee for the good work that you do for Oxnard. One more hand for the community. And also, of us.
Okay, let's make it look artsy.
Thank you again. Thank you so much. Put your hands one more time together for this, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much. And our next item on the agenda is item F, and this is public comments not on the agenda. And I have some speakers there. Madam Clerk, do we have Stephen Sutler yet?
Mayor Zaragoza, Mr. Stephen Sutler has not dialed in and is not available for remote comment at this time.
Okay, so then our next speaker, and it's really an honor to me to present this young man, the Sheriff of the County of Ventura, Jim Freiham. Jim, come right up. What an honor to have you here, Sheriff.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor, council members, city manager, both the fire chief Hamilton and police chief Benitez. It's my honor to address you all tonight. One of the things that I wanted to do when I took office was make sure that we are here to represent. I am here to represent all of you. I am the sheriff for the entire county. Obviously, you have your own police department that provides police services. Mm-hmm. Chief Benitez and I work very closely to make sure that we're providing what we can as a county to support your efforts here in Oxnard. Some of those initiatives that we have launched is obviously we applied for an organized retail theft grant on behalf of all the agencies in the county. We were awarded $15 million from the state. The DA's office was awarded over $2 million to combat organized retail theft as well as cargo theft. And so we've partnered with Wainimi, who's giving us a body as well. I understand it's very tough times for law enforcement right now. We're all short personnel, but this is definitely a need that we have to address. And then the second thing is we have now embarked on having a homeless liaison unit. It'll be 8 deputies and 2 sergeants once it's fully staffed. As of right now, we have 4 deputies and 1 sergeant. The goal will be to have 7-day-a-week coverage where we can partner with all the other homeless liaison officers across the county, work with behavioral health, our backpack medicine folks to make sure we're providing resources to those experiencing homelessness, but also have a mechanism for them to do it safely and hold people accountable, make sure that they're not breaking the law that's causing harm to our communities as well. So I just want to take a few minutes to come and say hi. Good to see you all. I hopefully will get back in front of your council later this year. I'll give a more comprehensive update. I'll bring some slides and I'll get on your agenda and I'll work with your city manager if you're okay with that to give you a better presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Sheriff. And I think that partnership between the mutual partnership between all the cities is extremely important, especially with some of the things that are happening with people, stealing stores and breaking into stores and also helping our homeless is really, really important. So, Sheriff, thank you so much for your effort to come over and speak to us, and we're happy to potentially have our city manager put an agenda item for you.
And I'm available if anybody has any questions for me that you'd like to fire off.
This item's not on the agenda, but Councilmember, probably just thank you for being here today.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Mohammed Hassan. Mohammed Hassan.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Mohammed Hassan. I've appeared here at this podium many times in the past decades. I am here this evening to congratulate the entire City Council for their vision. When a board appointment came due this month at United Water, unlike previous occasions, council members supported a local applicant who was not a typical farming background, but more city-oriented. 2 council members, Perello and Basua, and Planning Commissioner Nash personally appeared to present their support to the board. Perello, Nash, and Valenzuela wrote strong recommendations. But the most powerful recommendation letter came from the most important person I know in Ventura County, John Zaragoza. I first met John in 1979 when John was the head of environmental services, when I was in charge of water and wastewater for this city. John was a member of Fox Canyon GMA when he was county supervisor. Fast forward to today, he and I are fellow commissioners at Ventura LAFCO. Some of the current members of United don't seem to know who their constituents are. I don't know if they even realize that diverse people on the board make better decisions. 4 directors of the United will be up for election this November, all from your Oxnard area. Board members are well compensated for their time. Your unprecedented show of support deserves recognition. Maybe more representation for cities will come from United due to your courageous efforts.
30 seconds.
The last candidate was Carolina G. Magana. G is for Gallardo. Where is Ms. Magana? Can you come here for a second? Thank you for your willingness to serve. And thank you very much, City Council.
Thank you.
I just want to take the few seconds that are remaining. I just want to thank everybody. I am a person who's always looking for equality for our community, and we are a diverse county. Why not to have a diverse board of directors? Thank you.
Caroline, thank you for your efforts. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. Okay, our next speaker is Steve Huber.
Good evening, Mayor,
members of the City Council, members of the public. My name is Steve Huber. I live in the Cabrillo neighborhood. I was recently appointed to District 5 of the United Water Conservation District. My constituency is the folks that I represent are 10 neighborhood councils in the middle of Oxnard. I just want to introduce myself tonight, and I want to just let you know, for those of you in the neighborhoods, I look forward to meeting you at neighborhood councils. I'm very active in the Cabrillo neighborhood. I understand what's required. And my neighborhoods basically go from Cabrillo down to Lemonwood, and I'll come to the Inco and set up those meetings. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the support as well from the council. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for serving. You know, it's important for this. Thank you. Madam Clerk, any other speakers on the young man, Sutler, Stephen? No, yet?
Mayor Zaragoza, we do not have any additional speakers in person or virtually. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all the speakers today. So our next item is item G. This is a report of the city manager, the city manager department, subject severe storm emergency action. Recommendation the city council ratify the director's orders regarding the severe storm, local energy proclaimed by the director of emergency services on December 27, 2023, and related actions taken pursuant to the severe storm and local emergencies. And we have Mr. Alex Newman, but before we get there, do we have any speakers on this side?
Mayor Zaragoza, we do not have any speakers.
Okay, then, Mr. City Attorney?
Mayor, this is a placeholder item in case a director order was needed after the agenda was posted, and this week there is nothing to take action on.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
And that concludes my report. How nice. Thank you.
Thank you for your report, Mr. City Manager. Okay, our next item, this is the time of members of the City Council to make any brief announcements or any other activities, and also if they have any future agenda items they'd like to place on the agenda. In 3 minutes, and we'll start off with Councilman Turan.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick updates here. We have Carriage Square Neighborhood Council meeting this coming week on Thursday at 7 p.m. at Curran Elementary School. And then last week I attended the River Park Neighborhood Council meeting, and they had a really excellent and high-quality presentation from the Public Works Department from the County of Ventura, and they and their watershed team were able to update River Park residents on the current efforts around Santa Clara River Levee 1, SCR 1, and the update was well received, well done, very informational, but very lay level as well. And I do want to thank the folks from the County of Ventura who came out and did that, as well as Supervisor Matt Levere for his partnership in bringing that to River Park. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I had heard he wanted to do as well, and so we were able to combine forces to have that public information and that public info, or that public update, come to River Park residents. And I also want to thank Mr. Huber, and I saw Ms. Gallardo Magana was here as well, for all of their efforts in our community, but especially in applying for our United Water Conservation Resources. And that board, as was mentioned, it has 4 seats up for election this election cycle. And I hope that folks who are interested in seeking that will do so, or find out more about those who are on it and support those who they think would be good representatives for our community. There's a lot of really important things that happen within that board, and I'm glad we have residents who are willing to step up to be involved in that level of effort. And those are my updates. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Basua.
I've got nothing to report.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, as I mentioned, was my ground transit week with South Coast Area Transit and Ventura County Transportation Commission. Coming up in the future, We'll have two meetings here, one in the council chambers and one at Gold Coast Transit for the rail transit boards that I sit on. The first one is the LoSAN board, which is the Amtrak service from San Diego to San Luis Obispo. We'll be holding a board meeting in the first part of May at Gold Coast Transit District. And the other one is the Coast Rail Coordinating Council, which is Central California, generally from San Luis Obispo through Santa Cruz County. And we will be meeting here in this council chambers. So if you're interested in rail and want to find out what's going on the rail side of the world, we'll have two meetings here next month. So keep your eyes open. We'll be sure and post them and give you plenty of time to be here. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Perillo.
Thank you. I want to thank the people that spoke in public tonight. It is not often we have three elected officials in the audience: the sheriff, two members of United Water, Mr. Huber and Mr. Hassan. It's tremendous that they show up and they share their views with us. They are, especially the United, this is a serious matter. There are seats that have been in possession of individuals that have been holding them almost 3 decades. These things need to be at least have competent people run for these positions that have an interest. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a hydrologist. You don't have to be an engineer. You have to have an interest and willing to do some homework. The second I would like to bring to your attention, Councilman Turan and I serve on the Airport Authority. 2 projects were presented to the Oxnard Airport Authority for future development. It appears that a large amount of investment will be made on that airport for programs going forward. There's an expectation that there's going to be tremendous activity at the Oxnard Airport with buildings for customers down the road. And I would also like to take this opportunity. We had closed session tonight, and we had a report on a closed session. I'd like to thank all the parties that work for the city of Oxnard on those closed session matters, getting to a resolution. Aside, I'd like to thank Attorney Barbara McRae-Ortiz for her representation pro bono for the people that she was representing. I think that needs to be acknowledged. Pro bono means free. She's been working for free for a lot of members of this community for a long time. Those are my comments, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Valenzuela.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Zaragoza. I guess 2 weeks ago, I joined Councilmember Perillo and Mayor Zaragoza here in front of City Hall, where we met with Congresswoman Julia Brownlee for the $3.8 million that our Public Works team were able to receive for federal aid. Thank you so much for that. Wanted to give 2 announcements as well. There's an organization called Ventura County Leadership Academy. They are receiving applications right now to May 17th. It's a 10-month cohort where you go around the county learning about public agencies, private businesses, and nonprofits and how they all intermingle to serve our community. I was part of cohort 22, 2016, 2017, where I found it very informational and hope others are able to join who may be interested. And there's also next weekend at Zachary Dunes, there's the California State LULAC Convention from April 26th to April 28th. And you can find more information about that at calulac.org. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, I just want to also thank the speakers and Mr. Nash, for our commissioner, and for doing a lot of good work for the community. Steve, you're always there too. And again, Mr. Huber too, that for serving in the water district, and also Mohammed Hassan, and Carolina for applying, even though she didn't make it, but she's a winner just to try and help us out. And it was mentioned too, I just want to thank Congresswoman Julia Brownlee. We have some checks in front of us. She brought $3.8 million to us, and this is for the replacement of cast iron water pipes over at Kamala Park. And I just want to thank her for all the good work that she's done for the community, for Oxnard, for not only just in pipes, but also for our veterans. But Congresswoman Brownlee has done an excellent job for the community. And just to share a little bit about this money that was come to us, I just want to thank Public Works. I want to thank Mr. Wolf and his staff, for providing that work and those grants and working with Congresswoman Brownlee, because the Public Works staff is there to make sure that the water flows from our faucet to our showers to make sure that they provide essential services, and make sure that we also have the roads that take us from point A to point B. So I just want to thank Public Works for what they do. And also just to share a little bit more, those pipes that we're replacing over at Kamala is what, 60 years old. And we're replacing 40,000 linear feet of aging cast iron pipelines, which is really, really going to help us providing that community with excellent water service. So I just wanted to share that with you, and this is part of our citywide restoration efforts. Remember our priorities that we have, that we put together. And I just want to thank her for being such a wonderful congresswoman, and thank again our public works staff, our city manager, and everybody involved in these programs. So I'm thankful for that. And again, we have the checks right in front of us, and I'm sure that our folks in the community can look at them. And Mr. City Manager, did we deposit money already in the bank?
Yes.
There's money in the bank. Again, Mr. Wolf and Public Works and all the staff, thank you for the good work. Thank you so much. So, okay, our next item then is a consent item. And
Excuse me, Mayor Zaragoza?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to announce that Councilmember Madrigal has rejoined the meeting as of 6:43 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to go into the review of the information consent item, and we have 8 items. Do we have any speakers on the consent item?
We do not have any speakers on
So we have
consent items.
8
Thank
items.
you.
Council members, any questions on any particular one of the 8 items? Councilman Perrella?
Just number 7.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a resolution commending Sergeant Daniel Shrub for over 26 years' service for the Oxnard Police Department. A retirement is a big deal, and it's worth a moment to think about it. A lot of people have jobs. Some go much longer than 26 years. Some go 26 years. Some never get the opportunity to go very many years. I appreciate the work that this gentleman has done for the community and for the profession that he put in. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And I also wanted to share that the Sergeant Daniel Shrub, 26 years of working with the Oxnard Police Department is a lot of dedication, especially with the modern thinking, or not even modern thinking, because of that are things that our police officers go through nowadays, but I want to thank him, Chief, thank him, please, for, I know he doesn't want to come and take any credit, but 26 years is a long, long time. So I commend him for that. Councilman.
Number 8.
Yep, go ahead, number 8.
If we could have the city manager or the city attorney address. In the past, we've had people take shots that we've extended the contract with this firm, and I don't believe that there's any problems. Can somebody address that? We have no issues for the auditing firm?
So there is pending litigation about a requirement under the government code to rotate certain positions within the auditing team, and it doesn't necessarily apply to the audit firm.
Company.
So that is what's being sorted out during the litigation, and it's pending in front of the judge and being briefed, and I don't have an estimate on when that matter might reach a decision point by the court.
Thank you very much for the clarification, City Attorney. Thank you.
Well, I forgot to mention something in my comments, and I just want to share that I want to thank Mr. Chris Frost, from the Century, for writing a good report on the Julia Brownlee and numerous other reports that you do with your paper. So the Tri-County Century does a good job. Thank you. Okay. All righty.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no other discussion on info consent, I'll move approval.
Okay,
Second.
got a first by, on the consent items 1 through 8. First by Mayor Pro Tem, second by Councilman Valenzuela. Please vote.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, thank you so much. And our next item is item L1, and this is reports. Subject adoption of an ordinance number 3043 establishing the new solid waste rates and fees. Recommendation of the City Council, one, adopt an ordinance number 3043 entitled Ordinances of the City Council of the City of Oxnard to establish solid waste rates and fees for customers' use and service for the city's environmental division. And two, find that the CEQA does not apply to the ordinance pursuant to Public Resource Code, Section 21080B8 and 21083 in conjunction with the exemption listed in Title 14 of the California Code Regulation Section 15273. And that's just to show that this not originate in committee because it's a continuation of an item previously approved by the City Council on March 19, 2024. And also to share with you that there was a pre-recorded Measure M item on this presentation, and we do have Michael, if we have any additional questions. Council members, any questions on this item? Any public speakers?
We do not have any public speakers for this item. Thank you.
If not, I just want to share that, that again, the ER division is an enterprise fund. It's self-supporting enterprise fund that provides a lot of mandated refuse sources and cleanups and services for residential, commercial, and apartment complexes. And this is, again, is to provide us clean and safe, sustainable Oxnard, which I think is really, really important. And to meet local, state, and federal requirements. And also, I believe that one of the things that our public should know that not only do we have to follow the local rules of the state, but also numerous mandated, unfunded mandates that are given to us by the state of California. And also to share that we did comply with Prop 218 and submitted a public notice for such an event. My understanding that we sent out 50-some thousand notices, and we had only about 810 concerns. So, council members, Michael, do you want to add anything to what I just shared? Mm-hmm.
We're just here to answer any questions. I also have Brian Llanos, our Assistant Public Works Director, here.
So, make motion. Councilor Turan?
Second.
I had a question. Thank you.
You second the motion.
I had a question first.
And a question, go ahead.
Yes. Actually, rather than a question, just more of a sharing a follow-up from some feedback we've had from residents, specifically in District 2 for our solid waste services, and recognizing that part of the solid waste rates and fees that we evaluated as a council, and we had our consultant Raftelis and our public works staff look through. This has been an extensive process. I want to thank everyone for the comprehensive information and the outreach to the public. For folks who live in the neighborhood of River Park and CFD 5, I just want to recognize quickly that we have received their feedback on implementation of now having a third container, and know that I have communicated with the neighborhood council chair about this as well, but we are working to monitor the situation and see what we can do to address it, and know that I have done outreach too, and I'm working with the HOA, the master HOA on that within River Park. So just wanted to state that for the record. Thank you.
So we do, any of the council members, we do have a first by Councilor Peralta, second by Councilman Turan. You want to be first?
Sure, I'll move the recommended
Councilman
action.
Turan first and second by Councilor Peralta. Please vote. Who's on first? And Brian, thank you so much for your good work, Brian. Brian Yanez, for your presentation. Please vote.
Mayor Zaragoza, I'd like to confirm that we have a motion by Councilmember Turan, a second by Councilmember Perillo. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next item is Public Works Department. This is Agreement 3250002 with JAS Landscape LLC for landscape maintenance services. And also the recommendation is the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with JAS Landscape LLC in the amount not to exceed $2,721,267 for a maximum of 5-year term with an initial agreement ending June 30, 2025, after which each agreement might be extended for additional 4 years for 1-year terms with a fully extended final term ending in June 30, 2029 for landscape maintenance services with Community Facility District Number 4. And also to share that Public Works Transportation Committee approved this item 3-0 on March 26, 24. And there was a pre-recorded Measure M presentation. And we do have with Steve or Michael here to share some information.
Mayor, I do have to recuse myself from this item. The company that's up for the contract is my brother's company. It is a family business, so I have no interest in it. I get nothing from them, so I'm just going to go ahead and recuse myself.
So recuse and we'll wait till she gets over in the back room. Okay, Steve, so we're okay? Fisher, we're okay? Okay, I have a question, Michael or Steve, you know, that we got an email from one of our residents saying that we have an increase of 43% on this item for procurement procedures and landscaping and so forth. And also that we have no exit in this 5-year agreement, particularly in a long-term agreement. Can you share some more information on the two items, the 43% if, and also the 5-year agreement without an exit? Steve?
Honorable Mayor and City Council members, just for clarification, this is a 1-year agreement with 4 additional 1-year renewable terms. So if it goes for the full term, it will be 5 years, but it is a 1-year agreement. However, there is language in the contract, in the agreement as well, for the city to exit the agreement if there are issues with performance or if we're going to go another direction. So there are clauses to end the agreement.
So there's 2 ways, the 1-year extension, number 1, and also a clause for non-performance.
Correct.
I think that really handles the second part of it. Now, they're saying 43%, but my understanding is, Steve, that we had 4 to 5 companies actually bid on this item. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, and that is included in the staff report. There were 5 companies that bid on this project, and we put their bids in the agreement as well. So JAS was the lowest responsive bidder. For clarification, you know, there is an increase, just cost of business has been going up. We've been seeing that inflation. But additionally, need to note that in the staff report, it also identifies the costs of the agreement, the actual regular occurring services. Now, these are the same services that have occurred in previous years with other contracts. So we did not change the service level for Seabridge. The base level costs for the regular services are $364,800. What was also included is on-call service agreements. Now, the on-call service agreements are the on-call service amount is $127,680.
So potentially,
go.
so potentially, Steve, if they're on call and if we don't call them, that money is not expended.
Correct.
Okay.
The base amount is $364,800. The on-call is if the board for Seabridge wants to do any improvements that are outside of the contract services, it gives capacity for us to be able to perform those. This is very common that we're putting in all of our landscape contracts right now. And we're using it citywide with our parks and street landscape contracts
For
as well.
additional work, if
Just
any.
in case we need it, it's there and available to us, so we don't have to rebid another project.
Council members, any additional questions from Steve or any speakers on this item?
We do not have any speakers virtually or in person for this item.
Councilor Perrella?
One question and one comment. Did the discussion of this contract involve the neighborhood council?
I'm going to invite Anthony Miller
interim special districts manager to come up and answer that question, because I believe he was in those meetings.
Hello, Mr. Miller, how are you doing?
Anthony?
Good. Nice. Good evening, and thank you for asking such a good question. We have had a number of discussions, not necessarily with the neighborhood council, because this particular neighborhood does not encompass more than one area. But we have been discussing this directly with the HOA within the Seabridge community, which encompasses the entirety of the CFD area.
Okay. And the last comment that I have, it's great to see that we had several, I think the number, again, the mayor said 2, 4, 5 bidders on this project, all of them deemed qualified, and it's good to see more people are looking for work with the city of Oxnard. We're a good customer.
This is probably one of the best competitive landscape bids we've seen within my division, which is a nice change of pace.
Mike, congratulations to the public works staff. If there are no other comments, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Perrella.
Second.
Any more comments?
No other speakers, right? No other comments. Second by Councilman Valenzuela.
Okay.
Please vote. Perrella, 1, second by Valenzuela. Please vote.
Mayor, we are waiting for Councilmember Basua's vote. Thank you.
She recused himself. One
Sure.
recusal.
Thank you. So the vote for this item is 6-0 with 1 recusal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Councilman Basua, please join us. Okay.
Run, Gabby, run.
Man, these people are tall.
Okay. Councilman Basu has joined us. Our next item, and the last item here is item number 3, and L3, and this is the City Manager Department, Subjects ERP Annual Report and 7th Amendment to the Agreement with Creative Core Technologies. Recommendation of City Council 1, approve and authorize the mayor to execute a 7th Amendment to the Professional Services Agreement with Creative Core Technologies Corporation, 9431-21FN, in the amount of $5,300,000 for not to exceed contract of $10,020,000 to extend the term for 5 years to December 31, 2025 for project management services related to the discovery, documentation, implementation, stabilization, and ongoing IT support for all phases of the city multiple-year enterprise resources planning, ERP, implementation as well as some additional IT non-ERP projects. 2, approve a $200,000 of new transfer out of appropriations in the General Fund 101 and corresponding transfers in revenue in the Capital Fund 301, in regard to additional ERP related costs anticipated in fiscal year 23-24. 3, and receive and file the ERP system annual report. And the Finance and Governance Committee approved this item 3-0, March 26, 24. And there was a Measure M presentation, and we do have Mrs. Klima for the additional information. Council members, any additional question of Mrs. Klima at this time?
Mayor Zaragoza,
Any speakers?
we do not have any speakers for this item virtually or in person. Thank you.
Mayor, you do have Andy Butniger from Creative Core on the line as well, if you have any questions for him.
What's his name?
Andy?
Andy, okay. So Andy, I'm not sure, Andy, hold on a second. Any questions, council members? Councilmember Perrello?
Deputy City Manager Klima, the volume of this contract, and some people may not know, ERP it says Enterprise Resource Planning. Can we just give like a thumbnail exactly what do we get and what has this done for us? And why or why not has this been beneficial to the city of Oxnard?
Sure, thank you for the question. The ERP program is an integrated software program, so it is the city's financial background, financial sort of infrastructure, but it's also the technology for the HR department, for a variety of other departments across the city, and really builds the city's software infrastructure upon which other software is built. Our current ERP was adopted, I believe, in the early 1990s. And before we started this process, we were literally working off of a green screen, if you all remember that from the 80s and 90s. So this is a 5-module or 5-part rollout that will take multiple years. We rolled out core financials, which is the city's financial piece. That took 2 years to implement, and frankly, the difference is night and day. The data, not just the way in which we do the business, but also the accuracy, the ability to produce information and organize that information in such a way that people can utilize it, yourselves or members of the public or staff, to inform a lot of opinions and decisions. On that financial software, we built the budgeting software. You all will see this budgeting, this cycle will look different and will enable you all to ask a lot of questions and get much more immediate, much more informed answers. We're updating currently payroll and HR. Our HR processes right now are manual. We file papers and move them across the city manually. And so that will get integrated into the system so we can manage the employees' information, so forth. Then we move to community development. This is one of the areas where the residents and the developers and folks externally will see the actual impact. Rather than having to call the department and ask, what's the status of my permit, you will have visibility on a server online. You can just log in and see where the status is of your approval. And again, that will merge with the financial data, so you'll be able to pay your permit online and everything will be much easier, much more accurate. Then we move to public works, predominantly public works, which is the asset maintenance. So that is, where are all of our different city assets, and allow them to be able to integrate different facilities management and fleet management and everything, and have those systems all talk to each other. They literally don't have a work order system right now in public works. They're doing this manually. And so this will allow it all to, again, talk to each other, to be able to analyze the financial data, the cost of providing those services, and so forth. And then the final module will be utility billing, which is updating our billing system to this new system. In the end, the residents will have a portal that they will be able to interact with the city in a lot of these different ways in one location. So when one resident logs in, they'll be able to pay for their permit, pay for their kids' soccer classes, pay for just their utility bill, all kinds of other things. And it's really going to be a very, very different user experience for our residents. So it is expensive. It is a lengthy process, but it's very worthwhile in terms of providing much better services to our residents.
As I understand it, it's going to be able to give us real-time, much more accurate, and the employees will be able to work much more efficiently. I mean, the magnitude of how many employees the city of Oxnard has to have to hand deliver time cards or something like that in 2024, this has been long overdue. Thank you for the explanation.
Mr. Klingman, I think you said something important that our constituency needs to understand is the departments can now talk to each other, which is really important. number one, and also the permitting process is a big one that we're really working on, that I think, that a lot of the contractors, individuals that want to work with the city are going to be able to go out there and actually expedite the permit, which I think is extremely important. And lastly, my understanding too, that it's really it's helping out our police and fire because of the complex payroll system that they work, because I think, can you share just a little bit about that? That's extremely important.
Yeah, Mayor, on the permitting, before COVID, folks had to submit plans on paper into community development. Now we have the scanning software, and we're going to have the whole permitting software that enables our community development department and the other departments to communicate directly with whomever submits that permit request. On police and fire, their payroll is not only moving into the system, they also are separately getting in advanced scheduling software. So when they schedule, and their schedules are incredibly complex, as you mentioned, and so that will filter into our payroll system. I will also add that this is the Creative Core contract that we've got before you, which is the contract for our consultants. They are our project managers. We could not have gotten as far as we've gotten here without Andy and his incredibly talented crew and hardworking crew. And in the summertime, we will be coming to you with the Tyler contract. Tyler's the actual software, and we have to pay them annually for the licensing and get their project manager's time. So I don't want to shock anybody, but that's going to be another large contract that relates very directly to this one, and it is integrated in the price evaluation here in this staff report.
And Mrs. Klima, we say we can update and buy software. Everybody's doing that because software is being updated continually. And new software comes in, so we have to upgrade, in order to keep up with the IT or the services that those folks provide, which I think is important. Councilman Teran.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Klima. I think Councilmember Perello's question and the Mayor's questions there are absolutely important for the public to understand with this, especially since they can't see a live presentation tonight. It's prohibited. But I would like to just reiterate for folks, and I said this at Finance and Governance, this ERP backbone that we have, it's all-encompassing. The idea is to streamline efforts across the city's many different systems. And the example I used at Finance and Governance Committee was, imagine going to the library and, the different sections use different filing strategies or different filing techniques. And how would you find anything? And imagine if you had to go to the Colonial Library for one type of book and go to the South Oxnard Library for another book, and then check both of them out at the Oxnard Library, and there was no corresponding system to figure out how to find those. And so having these systems talk to each other in the city is vitally important, so that way we're streamlining our services, our employees and our systems are more efficient, and we're serving the general public in a much more efficient way. And I said this last time too, as you brought up payroll for our public safety folks. I remember the picture from when this came up a couple of years ago, seeing it wasn't that long ago that there were payroll timesheets that were this thick every pay period for our police officers that cycled through a number of desks in order just to get something routine like payroll processed. And so this type of effort is long overdue and certainly worth the investment that the city's put into it for the last couple of years and will continue to do so as time goes on. So thank you again for the update.
And Andy, do you want to share anything? I know you've been waiting to share a couple of words.
Absolutely. I think city is on a very good path of making the city more smart city, where all of these softwares and integrated solutions that we are putting in place is going to add a lot of value, very good user experience, citizen experience, and also bring transparency across the organization. So those are some of the key things that we are adding as a part of the implementation for this. And I think Mr. Clema did a very wonderful job in explaining what are the different phases of the projects are and how beneficial it's going to be for the city. So thank you so much, Ms. Clema.
Thank you so much, Councilman Perrello.
Andy, a question. Do you have any advice of something we need to watch for when we work and we try to connect you guys or work together with Tyler, as Ms. Klima's mentioned?
For the future.
Or is there any suggestions you have for us with respect to working with the city of Oxnard?
In my opinion, I think we should look for all the optimization opportunities. So it's like a operation in place right now. So you're operating and making sure you're connecting all the dots. So look for the opportunities to ensure that we can bring high value and high efficiency. Working with Tyler Technologies and the business processes, those are the two critical things that we always look at, those automation opportunities, those efficiencies that we can really add a value to the overall implementation that you can realize.
Thank you,
Thank
Andy.
you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Councilmember, no speakers inside them, right?
Mayor Zaragoza, we do not have any speakers.
Need a motion? We got 3 items.
Second.
Okay, first by Councilman Perrello, second by Councilman Valenzuela. Please vote.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you for your work.
One moment.
Did you vote? Councilman Basu, is that her? Okay, good. Okay, thank you. All righty, so that's the last item.
Mayor, I would like to go ahead and do a vote count.
Okay, let's do a vote.
Thank you.
Please.
Councilmember Turan?
Yes.
Councilmember Basua?
Yes.
Mayor Zaragoza?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald?
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal?
Aye.
Councilmember Perrello?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. That's our last item, and we are adjourned.